I'm here with Stefano Guglielmana from Subcult Joint. Stefano, how are you doing, sir?
Super fine, my man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by to talk to us about Cookie Cutter. I have been excited to get a chance to sit down and do this. You are the director and artist over at Subcult Joint for Cookie Cutter, and I have been singing this game's praises for a couple weeks now. Absolutely love your game, but I really wanted to get a chance to sit down and talk to you about what it takes to put this together because I can tell from playing your game that you and your team, have a lot in common with me in terms of the games that we love. Because I grew up playing Metroid. I grew up playing Super Metroid, and what you've put together here is awesome. So I have to assume that you guys are fans of those games that I grew up with as well.
For sure, my man. Yeah, all of the the roots of the genre. Actually, when we start doing this, it was a lot of fun. We blend all of our vision together. We try to make our vision make love to each other, and actually, we wanted to do something that is resemble the classic. Cookie Cutter. It's pretty simple in a way of it's not try to innovate the Metroidvania formula, but it's just try to give its unique flavor to the Metroidvania formula. So yeah, Super Metroid, all of the beginning of the Metroidvania games, those were old enough to appreciate and to identify those as the days of the cool thing.
Sure,
Nowadays,
absolutely.
nowadays it's pretty common to blend the Metroidvania with the rogue-like, Souls-like games, and that's really cool. But in we try to come out with another things, with another formula. So yeah, that was the idea since the beginning. Yeah.
Well, you've done well, man. You succeeded admirably because this is definitely a game that feels comfortable in that it feels like something like the genre feels comfortable, but you've done something completely unique here. And I haven't finished it yet. I'm probably about halfway through it, but I am absolutely enjoying the hell out of this game. So everybody's heard me pitch this game, but I want to, if you don't mind, let our audience know exactly what this game is from your perspective, just to sell them on it because I've been trying like crazy to get people to play this game. But what is Cookie Cutter?
Okay, we identify Cookie Cutter as a techno pop punk, diesel punk kind of Metroidvania. The game is heavily inspired by music and by animes and cartoon and all of the media that make our life, that identify our life. Mainly is the story of Denzel, an android with a human AI, with a human souls, that is looking back for revenge. That is starting a journey of love and revenge to find her lover and her creator. But this is just the context, the save the princess context, to tell a larger story, a story about planet, an alien entity called the Void, a planet called the Megastructure, and to tell all of the story inside of the Megastructure. It was an exercise in style for us to try to come out with a narrative that will be engaging. The idea was to bring you to another world, to a
Mhm.
different dimension, to something really, really far away, and to try to portray this world in the best way possible, but at the same time make it pretty punk rockish.
Mhm.
I imagine Cookie Cutter as an urban tale. The language, the way that the character talks, the language of the entire game, I think it's pretty urban. And so we mix all of these elements together in a really wild way, and we try to come out with a cookie cutter formula, and I'm pretty happy about what it came out. I'm really proud of it.
You should be proud of it. This game is slowly creeping up my list of top games for 2023. I am blown away the more I get through it, just how well the pacing is done. This is something I've talked about on the show, but I never feel lost. That is one of the things that I always struggle with a lot of games in this genre is that there's so many moments where I don't know where to go next, or I feel like I have to backtrack. And the way that you've designed this is just brilliant in that there's never a question. I feel like I'm always moving forward. What did you do to get that secret sauce to make that feel so awesome?
The keywords was let's make the keyword was to talk with the team and to have clear the idea that let's make a pop Metroidvania, like a Metroidvania, but a pop song. Let's make something enjoyable. Let's make something easy. Let's put the markers on the map that tells you where to go. Let's make the story that it's on layers. If you want to understand it more, you can read more. But if you want to understand it less and just know the core about the game, you will know about it. Let's make it pop punk. So that was the idea. You will have the marker with the goal and your objective. It's always there. We don't hold you by hand to tell you you need to go there. We show you the position and you find a way to go there. But yeah, the idea was let's make it enjoyable, while all other competitor and all other modern game try to give you a frustrating experience. And I love frustrating games like Dark Souls, nothing
Mhm.
against it, but we try to go into a different way. Let's come with a fresh idea and with a simple things. Let's do again a pop punk song, something that you can enjoy but with flavor.
That's a really interesting way to put it, especially since you're comparing it to a pop punk song, but the tone of the game is much darker than a pop punk song. I mean, just
Yeah.
even the cover art of, like, this, yeah, like, it's a picture of Cherry, but she's half android, half redheaded woman, and
Mhm.
just flipping middle fingers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the cookie cutter, I mean, it looks dark, and then you play the game, and that opening scene, the opening scene when, you know, your creator is taken away is one of the most brutal, introductions to a game in this genre I've ever seen. And then the kill animations are just, you know, are brutal.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, pop punk is not the word I would have come up with, but in terms of the map and design, I see what you're saying. That's awesome. But I want to hear you talk about the reason for making that tone so dark and so violent, because you know it's still very, I'm not going to say cell shaded, but it's still animated. You know, on the surface, you could look at this game and say, "Oh, this is a cute little Metroidvania," and then you
Mhm.
get that first glory kill, and it's like, "Whoa, this is not for kids." You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so talk a little bit about that and the decision for doing that, if you don't mind.
Okay, there is a lot to talk in here. I will try to be clear as much as possible and to give you a little bit of the entire vision of it. First thing first, I really love to combine extremes. So we came out with a visual style that is pretty pop, American, Scott Pilgrim,
Yeah.
Rick and Morty kind of formula that if you look at it, you think, okay, this is a really cartoony game. But at the same time, we blend that one with extreme violence because I talk about me, but there's all of the vision of the team. But I was the one coming with the seed of the idea that the rest of the team make it grow and everything. I grew up with really violent manga, really violent comic book, and so since I'm a kid, I'm used to dismembered bodies,
Mhm.
blood, squirting blood, and all of that stuff. So for me, it was really normal to have that process that your main protagonist will bleed a lot and their intestines come out, and it's stylish, it's like portrait violence in a stylish way to make it spectacular. Nothing more than that. There, if you look at it, you can consider it this is too up. But if you think about how some people portray violence, it's just a way to spectacularize, just to just to tell a story, nothing more than that. And
Right.
the reason why I'm really proud that the people perceive the intro in a really strong way, because it's a narrative expedient, the one that if you want people to empathize with your main character,
Mhm.
you need to make something up happen to your character, so that will trigger emphasis to people. They will emphasize with your character. This is a really standard narrative technique, and doing that to your main character, bring away her love and kill her in that so brutal way, I really hope that that was enough to build in people the will of revenge, to try to make this character winning against those people who mistreated her so badly. This was the entire vision about the intro, and that was my vision about the violence. Again, it was just spectacularizing just for fun, for the fun of and enjoyment of the squirting blood and intestines.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, the characters that you're fighting, most of them are robots. So,
Yeah.
so it's not even, like, real gore almost. I mean, there are some, organic characters and that kinda thing, but I feel like that was the one of the more fun elements of this game that I've never experienced before, is that anytime I came across a new enemy, I got excited because 'cause I'm like, "Alright, I get to see a new animation. I get to see a new glory kill here," because, for those of you listening, the way you finish off enemies is just absolutely over the top anime blood and gore, and it's so much fun to watch. So that so and you said you are the artist, so is that you, or do you have multiple artists doing that?
Yeah, the animator, it was me and another guy, Damian Chancho. He's a guy from Argentina who works on Castlevania on Netflix animation. We
Oh,
were the we were the two of us working on the game. I was mainly doing Cherry and the boss fights, and he was doing the enemies and the NPCs. Yeah, and some of those animation, the finisher animation, the brutals as we call them, took from 18 to 40 hours just for doing that, because it's all hand drawn with shades, with highlights. Every sprite got tattoos, details. So it was really expensive animation wise. It was a challenge. We're trying to chase the big animation master like Disney or Studio Ghibli. But they were the ending point and we were at the start of the trial. But the direction was that let's try to chase the master of animation, and let's try to be good animator in this and do our best. And we had a lot of fun and we bleed a lot doing this. But yeah, I'm really proud about the results. And all of the animation, the finisher animation idea, it come from Battletoads. That it's a game that I really
yeah,
loved. That every time you killed an enemy, you got a special move, and that
right.
blew me out when I was a kid. It blooms my brain out. My brain out.
Oh, yeah, I never finished the original,
No,
but,
it's impossible.
I got a good ways in the one on Super Nintendo, Battle Maniacs. I had a little bit more luck there, but yeah, that game is brutally hard. Thankfully, this one is not quite as difficult, but, learning that you were the designer of, the art for Cherry herself, I wanna talk a little bit about that because that's something that stood out to me is, Cherry is not your typical female protagonist. She's I don't know how to say this delicately. She's not, um, super thin. She's not just, like, scantily clad and overly sexualized or anything like that, but you definitely do have something I've not seen before. You're when she falls, her skirt's coming up and you're seeing her undergarments and stuff like that. I wanna know the inspiration and reason for that because I think it's such a bold direction to go with it, and I really like it. What was the reason for going that way?
I am an ex punk rocker as
Nice.
John Constantine of Hellblazer, and when I was a kid, I was playing punk rock all over Italy, and all around Italy when I was doing gigs, there was this punk rocker girls, and they got this really particular hair called Chelsea cut, the same hair that Cherry got, and they were pissed off. I mean, they were beautiful and brutal. You cannot go there and with her because they will kick your ass. They were gorgeous and dangerous, and I loved them so much. So when I got the chance to draw a character, and I imagined to have a really, my idea was to have like a warrior, a female character like warrior. And so I came out with Cherry, and she's dressed like a punk rocker back at my times, back in the 20 in the 2000. And yeah, the idea was not to make her hot. The idea was to make her kick-ass, pissed off, and a little bit like, yeah, whatever. That was the idea, you know,
Hmm.
just for the sake of try to find a different formula for a main character. People was thinking everything when we showed Cherry. They were thinking that we were um, feminist extremist group that want to destroy the patriarchy with a new model of beauty. They thought that we were like, I don't know, misogynist male who likes to make female bleeds. There's nothing of that.
Hmm.
There was just the joy of finding a formula that was fun for us and different enough to bring something new to the plate. So when Cherry came out and I came out with a stupid idol pose, I saw a lot of character, a lot of personality in this character. I said, I love her so much. And I started from there. Okay, this is our main protagonist. He's actually discarded Unity concept art. They want me to do this female character, and I drew 5 or 6 of them. And Cherry was discarded, and it was my favorite one. So I took it out, and I say, okay, I will do a game with her.
Oh, that's awesome. That's kind of a cool
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
What were you originally drawing her for? Like, were they making planning to make another game? Did they commission you to do something, or?
I work at Unity. I'm a full-time employee at Unity in Brighton in UK, and this character was a replacement for a project called 2D Game Kit. I drew the tutorial for 2D Game Kit, and when we tried to use another character for finding another formula, again, I came out with 6 characters. Cherry was one of them, and it was the less voted, but
Mm.
it was my favorite. So I said, okay, okay, I will keep this for myself.
I love the character design, man. I think she's great. I love that she's different from anything else, and like you said, the idle animation where she kinda stands there with one hand on her hip and just kinda, like, has this look of, like, are we going? Are we doing this? I just
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I came across a character, um, last night when I was playing that said, something to the effect of, "Well, you look like a no offense, but you look like a truck driver," and I never, like, even made that connection because she's wearing, like, a red trucker hat, because my mind immediately I'm a big fan of pop punk and punk music like
Uh-huh.
you are, so my mind immediately went to punk, not truck driver, so that was kinda
Yeah.
funny, so,
Yeah,
well
yeah, we had a lot of jokes about her in the game because it was fun. We're not trying to make her what she's not.
mhm.
She's like this, and people will behave and react to her in that way, and that's fun. Even if the game it's pretty gorish, there's a lot of fun and stupid and silly moments, and we
Mhm.
like that formula because you blend all of the things together. It comes out something unique.
Yeah. I'm in love with the game, dude. It's so much fun. So much fun. So, kudos to you and your team. Please do me a favor and pass on my congrats and, thanks to everybody for putting this together because as soon as I saw this trailer, I was like, "I have to play this game." Actually, one of our community members reached out to me and said, "Scott, I just discovered this game. Please tell me you're gonna review it for the Gaming Outsider. I need to know if this is good." And it surpassed my expectations even as much as I saw that trailer the first time, so kudos to you guys.
Wow. Wow. It's incredible. I'm so
Yeah.
happy about it. Wow.
So what's next for you guys and, the rest of the team over at Subcult Joint? Anything in the works? Anything in the future that you can talk about?
I would love to support Cookie Cutter for as long as possible. We will make it better. We will talk about this when you finish the game because there's
Okay.
something at the end.
Alright.
But let's say that I'm already taking all of the feedback from the community and fixing the game. As soon as they show me something on Twitter, I already fixed it,
Mhm.
and they appreciate this, and I love this to have this communication with them. And right now, I'm making cool things, and we're putting cool things out there for the game. We're making short video before any boss fight you encounter because right now that it's too raw. You enter in the room and they pop out.
Mhm.
So right now I'm working on short video. So you enter and there's this fast sequence that show them in a really cool way.
Oh,
We
okay.
implemented we implemented a combo counter, and we will give you a patch for free. We will give you the ultra wide ultra wide feature. We will give you the vibration on the controller, and when we finish with, we will give you the chances to remove the UI from enemy or remove the numbers. We will do little things that can improve your experience, and from there, I still need to talk with the publisher about this, but I would love to releases, not kind of small DLC like monthly, like it's a comic book that makes the story progress slowly. So
Hmm.
it will be cool. I don't know, it's an idea. We're brainstorming, nothing official here. But it will be cool if I can continue working on Cookie Cutter, releasing periodically, monthly or bi monthly content that allows you to progress the story, to discover a new area, because the journey of Cookie Cutter is not a finish with this game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I will, to answer your question, I will support the game for as longer as I'm able to, as I'm consent to. If people like it enough, we have a lot to say about the game. We still have a lot to say and a lot to show you. So let's see.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, Stefano, I know you were on vacation, so I'm gonna let you go. Number one, thank you for coming and talking to me on your vacation. That's insane. I didn't realize that when you first agreed to come talk to me, but um, so thanks for being here, man, and talking with us, and thanks for making the game. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys keep doing with Cookie Cutter, and I wish you guys all the best of luck on the sales.
Thank you so much, Scott. It was an honor to talk with you. Thank you again for these chances. And yeah, you will be the first one to know what will come next.
Awesome. I will let our community know as soon as any news comes out, man. Well, thanks so much, man. We'll catch you next time, okay?
Bye bye, my man. See ya.